NFL Week 11 is here. We have a massive Thursday Night Football game. And Thursday Night Football last week was electric. Now it's time for another electric game as we're going to have Saquon Barkley and the Eagles take on Jayden Daniels and the Washington Redskins. It's Redskins. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, Commanders. You get the same shit. We're going to keep it pushing, though. Heading into Underdog Fantasy, make sure if you're not on Underdog Fantasy, using code BDGE when you sign up because you'll get a free Jalen Hurts half a square. So make sure you take advantage of that. Plus, you also get up to $1,000 as well, so you're going to love that. But we're going to be on Underdog, right? And we're going to be taking our first play, and we're going to waste no time. We got 3 plays for you today that I really like. Again, Thursday night, when I'm having one game, I don't like the full 5 plays. It's really hard to predict a game because if I go one way with one game and it doesn't go that way, we just absolutely we just die. So it's like if I take 3 plays, it all goes one way, great. We have a good, nice, clean 3-0 sweep. We start the week hot. If I go 5 plays, yeah, that'd be awesome if we get the right way. But if it gets the wrong way, it can go terribly bad to start our week. So I like to stick with a comfortable 3 plays for me. If you want to go more and add to your own stuff, that's more than fine. We're going to be starting out with my favorite play, and that's A.J. Brown to go over 81.5 receiving yards. Listen, A.J. Brown has faced man coverage more than any other receiver in the league this year, but he has the 37% target share versus man coverage this season, which is the 4th highest in the entire NFL. And the Commanders run a good amount of man so far this season. Now, they mix in a lot of zone as well, so they are a pretty split team. They're about a 60-40 team. In games like last week, they were actually 55-45, so very close to the 50-50 split. But again, Browns recorded a plus 106 receiving yard over expected. Again, over expected means exactly kind of what it says is over the expected yards to gain, broken tackles, missed tackles, led to more yards, whatnot, better to throw, whatnot, always over expected. Against man coverage this season, he has that. That's the 3rd most in the NFL. And he's caught 6 of 13 tight window targets, right? Recording 36 yards, and which is the 6th most in the league on those type of throws. So again, he's dominating. And the Commanders this year have allowed a 3.3 yard target separation, which is actually one of the lowest. But again, that catch window is what's important. And they played man coverage. Again, the 8th highest rate, like I said before, 37.9%, close to that 40%. And they've been mixing it in a lot more in recent games, getting close to that 40%. Again, last week it was up to 45%. Now, again, that's also against the Steelers, who it's just Pickens and everybody else. Where against the Eagles, you have Devontae Smith, even Jahan Dotson, and Dallas Goedert. You have more weapons, so the man coverage might be a little bit lower in scenarios like that. But again, Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, since coming into the league, have dominated. I'll pull up the props I cash, something to look at here. We're on the NBA here. Let's go to the NFL. And let's look at this play real quick. So again, A.J. Brown's crushed this in every game. As you can see, that's this season that he's played. Again, he missed a few games. But in the sample size we have, 92.2 yards on average. And Jalen Hurts and him have led the league in passing since 2022 together on sub 50% completion probability, which means in those tough catches, A.J. Brown comes down with it. They top Tua and Tyreek Hill in that category by almost 200 yards. So they are by far one of the best combos. And they've generated the most completions for a duo and the 2nd most touchdowns and the 4th highest EPA. So they're killing it, right? And in this duo, we see week in and week out. It's always like, oh, A.J. Brown's going to have a slow week. 4th quarter comes along, 2 massive catches, seals the game. And we look at it from a this year perspective, right? Elite receivers that have faced this Washington defense. George Pickens, 92 receiving yards. Zay Flowers, 132 receiving yards. Jamar Chase, 118 receiving yards. Malik Neighbors, 127 receiving yards. Chris Godwin, 83 receiving yards. So this defense is very susceptible to big games, as we just saw versus George Pickens. And I think they're going to have to play less man coverage versus A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, all these weapons that they have, because the secondary is not that deep for the Commanders right now. So I think we're going to see a little bit less, a lot of zone breaking routes for A.J. Brown. I think he's going to see some big catches as he does almost every single game. I think he's going to smash over this line with ease, honestly. I also kind of like him to score a touchdown. A little bit of sprinkle on that. Can't hurt nobody. But I'm taking the best players to perform in this game. And that's why we're going to the second play, which is going to be Saquon Barkley to go over 91.5 rushing yards. This feels like a gimme. Feels like a gimme versus this Dallas defense. And I'll put it on here on the Dowg for you. Can we adjust it down to 91? We can adjust it to 89. So we'll do that for now. But again, these two are the offense for Philly. And that's kind of where I lie of if this offense is going to roll, it's going to be these two guys. I like Devontae Smith. Think he's a great player, but I don't know if he's really turning into any sort of focal point for this team like these two are. And this defense, as you can see, 28th in rushing yards per game this season, 24th in rushing attempts. So they're giving up a ton of rushing attempts, giving up a ton of rushing yards. And this is Saquon Barkley we're talking about. And I'll give you a quick rundown, right? The Eagles have the second best run offense in the league, averaging 176 rushing yards per game. The only one better than that is Baltimore right now. And the Commanders are the fourth worst run defense in the league, giving up 142 rushing yards per game. And Saquon averages, obviously, his 110.1 rushing yards per game, as you see at the bottom, at the middle left of your screen, right above me. And since week 5, the bye, Eagles have run the ball in a league-high 63% of their offensive plays. That's 40. Before the bye, they were at 45%. So they've raised their almost 23%. Or that's quick math. That's wrong math. It's like 18%. 19%. They've run the ball at a plus 12.5 over expected, and they just keep pounding the rock. They've included 60.7% of their snaps from when they were trailing. They still ran the rock. And the only other team to run the ball over half the time when trailing in the past 5 weeks has been the Lions. So the fact that the Eagles are still committed to the run game even after they're trailing, which I don't think they're going to be trailing in this game, but if they are, they can look to Saquon, who's generated 264 rush yards over expected this season. That's the second most in the NFL and over double his career high in previous seasons. And Barkley's recorded 3.6 yards after contact this season, 14% explosive run rate this season, which are both his career highs. He's absolutely dominating. I can tell you all this sort of stuff. The one cool fact I do have is he recorded 3 of his 8 fastest top speeds this season. He holds 3 of the top 8 fastest speeds by ball carries this season, with a 21.93 miles per hour, which is the 3rd fastest. So he's fucking fast as shit. He's in a club with Tyreek Hill and Derrick Henry. So that's what you like to see. And again, this team's just running the football since the bye. I think they're going to keep running the football. There's no reason to go away from Saquon. I understand he missed this last game versus Dallas. He started to pick up in the 4th quarter, but then it folded a little bit. But against this Washington team, I think it's going to be way more of a competitive game. Saquon's going to need to be relied on in this game. And I don't think Washington's going to fully sell out with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert in the pass game. They can't fully sell out. You just can't. With this team, you just can't. So I think Saquon's going to see a pretty big day here, and I love him at this spot. So we are going to keep pushing on to my last pick, but before we get to my last pick, make sure you're using code BDG when you sign up on Pick'It. Pick'It is a place where you can get all my picks, see all my plays, see when I place plays, see the odds I place them for. And yeah, I'm also going to be launching a Discord. So when you're seeing this, there will be a Discord hopefully launched by today. I'm recording this on Wednesday, November 13th. I'm hoping to have it by the 14th up and active for you guys to be in. Just talk about betting, just talk about props. I'll give all my plays as soon as I place them. So if you don't have Pick'It around you, or I know we do have a lot of UK people that are here or whatever, and you can't get the app, it will be in Discord as soon as I place the play. It will be in Discord, and you'll get it before the bumps as well. Plus, at like 1 a.m., if you're not on Pick'It right away, or you don't have noties on, or whatever the fuck, you then could just get it straight from the Discord, which will be awesome as well. Also, then you can yap about, hey, God, I hate your play. You're a fucking asshole. Fuck you. All that sort of stuff. And I'll be like, hey, you're not wrong. Anyway, gonna head to our next play. Jayden Daniels, quarterback for the Washington Commanders. Probably like, gut, what are you taking? Not a popular pick. Not a popular pick at all. I'm going to be quite honest. It might be the most unpopular pick. A lot of people are taking the over on Jayden, and that's understandable. I think I'm just kind of fading the public here, right? Since Cooper DeJean has taken over that full slot corner role, he's been literally the best slot corner in all of football. He's recorded the highest cover success rate among slot cornerbacks since his return in Week 6 at 73.9%. That is fucking nuts. That's very high. The next closest is around 60%. So he's absolutely dominating the slot. He's allowed a negative 12.6 target per EPA. Over the period. Again, that's second among the fewest slot corners. He's destroying. He's destroying. Again, high success rate, second low CPA. You can't ask for anything more than that. He's completed 59% of his downfield passes at 10-plus air yards this season. Again, because he chucks it deep to Terry McLaurin, post routes, go routes, whatever. That's the second highest rate in the NFL, right? And he's been great at it. But the problem is the Eagles allow a minus 7.6 completion percentage over expected on those passes, which is the 3rd lowest rate in the NFL. So it's pretty much good offense versus good defense. And sadly, I'm going to take the good defense more times than not, especially Because again, the Commanders have utilized empty formations, third highest rate, trying to get Daniels as many weapons out as possible, utilizing screens, all sort of stuff. But the Eagles have generated a 66.7% success rate against empty formations this season at 6 highs. They're top 6, top 7 in almost every single category I'm about to rattle off to you guys. Again, he's targeted wide receivers on screen passes 12.2% of the time. Big pass attempts. The Eagles have allowed 9 receptions for 44 yards on 11 screen passes to wide receivers this season. That's the 7th fewest in the NFL this season. The Eagles have allowed opposing wide receivers to generate minus 15 yak on expected screen passes this season. 6th fewest. The Commanders have motioned, the 4th lowest rate in the NFL this season, where the Eagles have generated a 61.2% defensive success rate against offenses that don't use motion. 4th highest in the NFL. I'm not a big Eagles fan. As you know, most of you guys know I don't like the Eagles, but I'm kind of all in on the Eagles this week. Their defense is set up perfectly to stop this Washington offense. Washington offense is kind of set up for failure against this Philly defense. Again, this could come back to bite me. Washington could come out with a scheme that we haven't really seen before, not throw as many screens, try to target the ball in the middle of the field, try to attack where the Eagles are weak in the linebacker position, all that sort of shit. And I could be completely wrong. And my entire game script could be wrong. I'm taking this as I think this is a lower scoring game with a lot of yards, and I think it's going to be a good amount of field goals. I like the kickers in this game as well, too. But I think the Washington team is going to try to hold the ball, going to try to get time of possession. What does that mean? Lower pass yards normally, higher rushing rates, and that means higher rush rates for the Eagles as well. I still think A.J. Brown eats, though, as he's the wide receiver 1, and he could see 200 yards. They could score a total of 21 points. You know, that's how the Eagles are this season. So they've had a lot of empty cows, but I think the empty cows come out to benefit us today. I mean, I am fading Jayden just because of this pure Eagles success rate for this entire season and how well they've been doing. So that's all I got for today. I like Philly. There is a play that I'll tell you guys that I'm gonna take, but I'm not gonna post. I like the Eagles to win 6 through 10. So that's the Eagles winning by about a touchdown. It's plus 420. So I kind of really like that as a long shot bet to just kind of sprinkle in a plus 420 bet for the Eagles to just kind of win outright against this Washington Commanders team. I get it's a divisional game, so normally that doesn't happen. But I think the Eagles are just a more talented team. The Commanders have been one 500 team, and that was the Arizona Cardinals. Outside of that, they haven't really played anyone. We can look at you can look at their schedule. Like, this is Washington's played so far. Tampa Bay, mid. Giants stink. Cincinnati, 4-6. Arizona, a good team. Cleveland stinks. Baltimore, they lost. Carolina stinks. Chicago stinks. Giants stink. Pittsburgh, good, but lost. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for this Commanders team against a good defense and a team that's been rolling since the bye week. So I'm going to lean the Eagles there, but make sure to let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.